Let's see if we're live here. Hey, we're live. All right.
Yeah. Let's see.
All right, Rise, what's up? I'm going to just go ahead and edit the name of this video, and then I'm going to go ahead and share it on Clarence, and I'm going to ask you to do the same, and then we'll get this party started, shall we? All right. Let's see. Are we live, folks? Can you hear me? And all right, we got a crew here. All right, now we're ready to rock. Go ahead and share this on Clarence Woods Emerson's Facebook page. If you're not following Clarence Woods Emerson, time to get with the times. Clarence is almost up to 20,000 followers, by the way. He's like 35 people away from 20,000. He's got 15,000 followers and 5,000 friends, but the friends, let's be honest, I think I know like 10 of you people on there. So it's they're followers for the most part. So let's get Clarence to 20,000. I don't know why. I don't know how it's happened, guys, but it's been 6 months since you know what has happened. Since I've been put in a hole for 30 days. I don't know how this happened. Clarence is by far the longest Clarence has ever gone without a suspension. I'm probably jinxing it. Maybe it's because I'm on my best behavior. I don't know. Maybe just trolls got bored. Who knows? Bottom line is, let's do this. All right. We live. All right, there you go. Share it up. Let's get this party started, shall we?
Calling all crab fans, Crab Fest
come on,
is back
you want the commercial? Give me a
with 9
break.
craveable crab
Where do you even go to Red
perfect
Lobster?
for adventure seekers with 3
Do we
kinds
have
of
any Red
wild-caught
Lobsters
crab,
in Massachusetts?
and for the crack, pull, and twirl lover in us all.
No,
Grab
there's
your
15
crab
second
crew,
ones too.
hurry in.
Life is so fucking hard. Here we go. All right, hello and welcome, Turtle Riders, to Uncle Turtle Boy's Late Night Garage Podcast. All right, this episode is brought to you by our good friends over at Garage Doors Plus in Quincy. All right, if you have one of those old rickety garage doors, guys, it's time to get with the times. Call up our friends at Garage Doors Plus in Quincy. You can find them online at gdplus.com. They will come over to your house or wherever that day. It can be your business, doesn't matter. Anywhere in which you need a garage system installed, and they will give you a price that is so fair, it will blow your doors off, no pun intended. And they will do it right then and there. My buddy Chris Riggs, good guy, good people. Give him a buzz. Trust me, your life will be forever changed. You'll get a nice little clicker. Boom, garage door goes up. Boom, garage door goes down. Hadassah story that we're working on, it's a lot of freaking work, man. A lot of work, and I love doing it. These are the kind of stories that I live for. I live to do. I would just like to do stories like this all the time if I could. I really would. But that requires crowdfunding, right? So I would graciously appreciate if you think we've earned your business this week, if we think we've earned your patronage, feel free to hit that, donate button. We would graciously appreciate any and all donations. You can get some in the Turtle Boy store. You can get the ad-free package. I understand. So the website's going through some maintenance right now. As you can see, like the color schemes are fucked up and shit. Like it just everything's white. All of a sudden, the categories are in the wrong places. The email signups are like weird down here. I don't know what's going on. This needs to get fixed. My web developer is working on it. We switched hosting providers, tried to save a couple bucks here and there, and there was some technical difficulties happening along with it. So we're getting it fixed. And we could graciously appreciate your support. You'll also notice if you're watching on YouTube right now, as opposed to the podcast later on, I am wearing a different shirt from yesterday, so that's good. I've progressed. My injury, I'm still keeping it real, holding it down. Blogging ain't easy. You don't choose the blog life. The blog life chooses you. Definitely need to get that made on a t-shirt. I never wear button-down shirts, but I can't wear regular t-shirts anymore, right? Because this arm is like not functional. It's freaking useless. Like this whole appendage is for show at this point, right? I had to go to the grocery store the other day. I had to ask for help getting shit like in the top. It's insane, right? I had to, even today, I couldn't put on a freaking contact. Fucking Christ. Try going like this. Because I hate wearing glasses during the show, because I can see the reflection of the stupid screen in there. So I like to wear contact. So, you got to do this thing. And then you try to lift your fucking arm. It's like, fucking that hurts. It hurts. I'm like, I've taken about 8 Aleve today, and no matter what, it still freaking hurts. So that sucks. I can't, literally everything is with your left hand right now. Everything. So it takes some getting used to, but it's real out in these streets, folks. Like I said the other day, it's real out in these streets. So, definitely, I'm going to try to get better for you guys, stay healthy, see what happens. But a lot of people have been messaging me, offering me medical advice. I have tendonitis. I didn't think tendonitis was like a big deal, but it fucking hurts, dude. It's like no joke. You can't use your freaking arm. Like it's useless. So I don't know how long that takes to get fixed. I don't know what you have to do to get it fixed. So it is what it is. Whatever. So anyway, we're here right now. All right. Anyway, let's talk about this story that we've all been following out of Milford. Now, I've been working on this story now for about 3 weeks. People have been alerting me to it, but people actually let me know about it like months ago, actually. People have been sending me messages about this woman, and, I didn't have time to look into it. No one did. We get a lot of messages we just don't look into. I'm not going to lie. But this story, all of a sudden, it was late July, maybe like mid-late July, and we started getting messages here for. So she started this GoFundMe because somebody was doing construction, Eversource was doing construction in front of her business. And she said, they're killing my business. I have all these customers say they want to come in, blah, blah, blah. And they can't do it because there's these Eversource people digging up the ground out there. All right. And so she starts this GoFundMe. But it turns out construction was there for like a couple days. That's it. And you could still get in. It's not like your business is closed. And more importantly, the business doesn't make $5,000 over the course of a couple days. It was a ploy that she does all the time on social media to get people to give money to the Gan Rivka Center. And so that's how I was alerted to it. A month before that, Hadassah's daughter, her adult daughter Cassandra, who's probably in her early 30s, goes missing. It's all over the Milford bulletin board pages. This woman's kid is missing. 30-something years old. And then it wasn't reported in the news by the police. Nothing. It was missing. Hadassah saying, share it, blah, blah, blah. So, a private investigator gets involved in it. And the private investigator, and this comes out later, I'm giving you guys a preview right now. The private investigator finds out that the girl isn't really missing and Hadassah's lying. Hadassah said that she found out that the woman, her daughter, was at a hospital. But she didn't know which hospital. She didn't know. And that the police had brought her there drunk or something like that. But yet, she said her car was in the hospital too. And that made no sense. Nothing made any sense, and then it just dropped. Well, let me just tell you. She got a lot of attention because of that. And I wasn't sure what her end game was, But then you realize that was the weekend that she changed the name of her business. It used to be called, she has a restaurant called the Karma Cafe. It used to be called the Bread Bowl Cafe. She changed it that weekend, and it appears to be, in my opinion, and in a lot of people's opinion, it looks like it's like a some type of marketing scam to draw attention to her new business, the whole daughter disappearing thing. So this is what caught our attention. So then I start speaking to all these people about it, right? And I show an interest in it, and I start messaging people who were involved in this, and I met up with 3 women at Dunkin' Donuts in Boylston. We had a nice little meeting about 2 weeks ago. And they showed me, they had worked for it. And this hasn't come out in any of the stories yet. I think it comes out in part 4 of this part. And they heard about this homeless shelter that was going on in their town called the Gan Rivka Center. They had lived there at Milford their whole lives. They didn't know about this. And they're like nice people. So they're like, let's get involved. Sounds good. Then they find out she's in trouble because she's always asking for money for the business. So they're like, yeah, let's help out this homeless shelter in town. Why wouldn't we? It makes its name because she says it's the only one in the country, although this is disputed, that allows pets to come with them. And let me just say something right now, okay? And some may disagree with this. If you're homeless, you don't get to keep your pet. There's a reason why homeless shelters don't take pets. I'm sorry, folks. Call me cruel, call me whatever. If you're at the point in your life where you can't even afford a cheap apartment, you don't get a dog. Dogs are for people who can pay rent. I'm sorry. It is what it is. So, but anyway, she takes him in. And she's the only one because obviously no one else has this policy. So, these people find out about it and they're like, yeah, let's help. Let's help. This woman's in tough financial situations. One of these women is in accounting. So she's like, okay, let me look at your books. We'll manage them. And she looks at the books and she's like, holy shit. Wait till you guys see some of the shit that Hadassah has been spending money on. It's insane. Some of the things she's been spending money on. More importantly, the 2 businesses share an account. Or the 2 businesses share an account with Gan Rivka Center. So the premise here, which we get into in the third part, is that Gan Rivka Center gets money from these businesses. The businesses exist for the sole purpose of generating a profit, which is then transferred over to the Gan Rivka Center, which in and of itself is insane, right? Anybody who's ever opened a restaurant, most restaurants fail, all right? And on top of that, Hadassah's restaurant, nobody goes there. It's a vegan restaurant. You'll see some of it. It's absolutely ridiculous. Her legal name is Heidi, somebody asks. Her legal name is Heidi. She goes by Hadassah because it's Jewish. Now, I will even go so far to say that I question her Judaism, guys. I question it. And we're going to see later on, right? She has all these people donating to her. So many people that we see in part 4. So many people. She has a Jewish center down literally at 34 Cedar Street called the Shabbat Center. She's at 18 and 16. They've not donated a dime. But we found out that this Jewish center has donated to a men's shelter in Rentham. So what does that tell you? That the Jewish center that she goes to sometimes, claims to go to, will not give her a dime, but they will donate to the men's shelter in Rentham. You tell me. What do they know, right? What have they figured out? So, back to the business. The business clearly we're going to see, can't possibly make any money, right? It has to be an expense, not a profit maker. And even if it was a profit maker, the idea that it would profit so much, that they would make so much money, that you could afford to pay 2 mortgages on them is patently absurd, right? Some of the most successful restaurants can't do that. But hers can. Her 2 businesses, the Karma Cafe and the Trinkets and Treasures, right? They are literally one shop, guys. One freaking shop. It can't be more than like 1,000 square feet. Tops. Maybe like 800 square feet. That's what I would estimate. So, so where's the money coming from? And we're going to get into that later too, but let's talk about first. There's just so much I don't even know where to start. The hardest part about this story, guys, was organizing it, right? Figuring out what's going where. Like, you should see how many freaking Google Docs we have going right now of like information and organization and stuff like that. Let me show you here. So let's start with part one, right? So in part one, we get into the media, how the media has been hyping this place up. So the media makes the Gan Rivka Center seem like it's this great place, and they always include a call to action on it, right? AKA, here's how you can donate, etc. And they build it up as this great place that can fit 32 women, right? Do all this nice stuff, let their pets come in there. It's a great thing. Who wouldn't want to donate to that? And here's why people don't. And a lot of people have asked, well, how come the town's not getting involved? How come like the Board of Health's not doing this? And I had a long talk with Bristol about this today. And we reached a conclusion. It's because no one cares about the homeless. That's just a fact. No one cares about the homeless. Anybody who's willing to take the homeless into their house as opposed to keeping them on the streets is doing society a favor in the eyes of many. That's why they don't care, right? You can pretty much do. Season 5 of The Wire is literally about this. It's just like nobody gives a shit about the homeless. So, anyway, they have not filed their reports for the last 2017-2018, which they are required to do because they are a registered 501c3. And all these companies that donate to them, they all get to write off on their taxes. Now, these are the two homes. This blue one is Hadassah's, where she lives, with Vladimir. And this one back here is the center. Now, you'll notice one door in the center. If it's a two-family home, you need two doors there. Or at least two. You can just go in this door and go in the whole house. So it's a one-family home. But it's treated like two to them, right? And this house, the blue house, is owned by Dr. Lawrence Gockberg, this mythical figure that she claims is her brother, but I really doubt is her brother. I really doubt it. I think Hadassah's got some crazy past, guys. And I know this. Here's some things I know about her. She's lived in Florida, Tennessee, North Carolina. She has owned all these quote-unquote businesses. She's very much like Failure Swift in that regard. And moves from one to the other. She's been married several times. Her oldest son is running for like sheriff of some county, either in Alabama or Florida, some southern state. And I don't think they want much to do with her. We found a picture where she photoshopped herself into a picture with her kids. I don't know if they have any relationship with her or whatsoever. She's also, not that it matters, guys. I've talked to several of her girlfriends, ex-girlfriends. Not kidding. Like, she's scissoring, right? Like, she's into chicks. And that's bold, brave, and beautiful. I think that's great. But it makes me, the only reason I bring that up, I'm not here to judge anyone's sexuality. I'm just wondering what's going on with the marriage to Vladimir. That's what I don't get. The guy barely speaks a lick of English, right? He's heavily involved in his Masons group, which I think she got him involved in. And he's like, I don't understand what I can't figure Vladimir out yet. There's a lot of this story. Usually I've cracked the code by now. With this story, it's just mystery after mystery you just unravel. It's like one of the great mysteries I've ever come in contact with. So anyway, this house, the blue one, is owned by Gockberg, and she is on the deed for this one, along with Gockberg, I believe. Now, I don't know why she's not on this one, but she's on this one. So, but she doesn't live in that one. She lives in this one. So you tell me. She's paying 2 mortgages. Unless Gockberg, if he's alive, he might not be alive. Nobody knows where he's at. Unless he's financing both of them and just not living there. How does that make any sense? Who the fuck knows? Right? Gockberg has given a significant amount of money to them, we're going to see, though. So, anyway. She's listed. The only one living in that blue house, according to the town of Milford, is Eugenia Lee Gordon, who is a special needs woman who likely collects a Social Security check. And I'm going to go out on a limb, guys, and gun to my head, I am guessing that some of that money goes to, Hadassah, right? So anyway, there's the Gan Rivka Center. There it is, 16 Cedar Street. There's Dr. Lawrence Gockberg. There's her son, who goes by David, but his real name is Russell, which is totally weird as well. And there's Vladimir. And, there's more Gockberg stuff. There's the parents of Gockberg, Karen Gockberg, Howard Gockberg. There's the store, Treasures and Trinkets. So this is the restaurant. This is literally the restaurant. I'm like, imagine going to a restaurant where you had to look at yourself. It's all mirrors and shit. You look at a mirror. Nobody looks at another person in this restaurant. You just face a wall. So, it's a vegetarian restaurant, too. There it is, the Karma Cafe. Perfectly normal. There's your son, who bangs the people that live there. Now, there's Hadassah. Now, what the hell is going on with this in the background, I wonder? Who knows? I mean, this looks like a family kitchen, right? Not an industrial restaurant kitchen. There's Vladimir loving his bread bowl full of fucking baklava, or whatever the hell he's eating. Good Lord, that looks terrible. Oh, good Lord. So, anyway, the Milford Daily News has been pimping them out, writing great things, as I mentioned. Donate there. Hadassah does this whole interview. Did you guys listen to this at all? Let me play part of this.
Children's Homeless Shelter.
Ah, nice.
We are a 3-story, 32-bed establishment, and we provide a home, food, clothing, education, life skills like budgeting and computer operation, along with many more services for the thousands of women and their children that have come there over the past 10 years.
Thousands. All anonymous, of course.
Over 10 years?
Yes, that's
10
correct.
Years.
Okay.
So,
where did you find the need for this center? Tell me about the beginnings.
So, I actually intended those 2 buildings, one to live in and one to...
okay, so 10 years she says she's been doing this, except it's only been registered as a 501c3 since 2013. So literally you can catch her in a lie in everything she says. So I want to hear more about this. What else is she saying here? How do I did I pause that? How do I unpause that? Come on. Come on. I'm kind of curious. Like, the more I listen to this woman, the more I catch her in lies.
My FM in the morning. Joining me in studio.
Operation, along with many more services for the thousands of women and their children that have come there over the past 10 years.
All anonymous, of course.
Yes, that's
correct. It's not anonymous at all, by the way.
Where did you find the need for this center? Tell me about the beginnings.
So, I actually intended those 2 buildings, one to live in and one to rent out. But
so she was going to rent out one of the buildings and live in the other. So she's, that's what a lot of people would do. But not Hadassah. Hadassah is Jesus Christ incarnate.
There was a need in the community at the time for a young mom and her children, and it just kind of happened from there.
Just one family,
One family that needed a place to stay, couldn't afford it. So I let her stay there without charging her anything, and she met somebody from the DTA, and it just started being called a shelter from...
Like, think of how bootleg this is. She's like, oh yeah, so in this report, this is how fake the news is. The guy's just like, oh yeah, sure. First thing is that, what's the woman's name? What's her name? Who's the woman? Right? Can we verify this? Is this true? I don't know. There's a woman that she just... How'd you know the woman? Right? You just found a homeless woman and they're like, come live in my fucking house? And then she got comfortable there, and you're like, well, I'm a shelter now. And DTA's involved. I'm a shelter. That's it. That's the fucking story. Good Lord.
From the DTA office and then the police departments and other agencies in the community. And we've been taking care of people ever since.
And where do you find the women? Where do they come to you? Are you reaching out to organizations?
I've never reached out
really,
to anyone.
Come to you?
Yeah, I
they
get
come
calls
to me. Sure they do.
At least between 15 and 30 calls a day.
15 and 30 calls a day?
Of course.
It is
that. Just picture her sitting there at the call station. I get 15 to 30 calls a day. People are lining up to live in the Gan Rivka Center.
Very unfortunate. It's the cost of the apartments and daycare.
Okay.
It just is exorbitant costs to live, and the jobs out there are just not paying enough.
Are these women coming from an abusive background, or does it not necessarily just cover that?
Divorce is one of the issues. Domestic violence is one of the issues that we deal with. But there are other issues. People lose their homes for various reasons. Fire. Someone wants to sell their property, and they give them a notice to leave, and then going from being married and just one person, and then 2 people, and then when they have children, they go from being a 1-bedroom, with a certain amount of people.
Right.
So the costs go up and rent
Costs
down the
go
number
up.
of in the family. Yes,
Okay.
but we do have single women that are sharing rooms.
Okay. And what are the accommodations like? You said
Okay,
you have the rooms,
accommodations.
32 people.
Here's the
Is there a
accommodations.
common
Let's do
area,
this.
kitchen?
There is a common area. There is a kitchen. Each room has a refrigerator and a flat screen TV on the wall.
She loves to say this, guys. She loves to point out every time I spoke with her, the first thing she talked about is the flat screen TVs in the rooms with cable. Okay, and and you're gonna see this a lot with her. She's obsessed with stupid shit. She's really bad with money. All right, she's devious too, but she's really bad with money, and she wants your help, but she wants to spend it your way. So she'll have a fundraiser, and instead of paying off the electric bill, she'll go and buy a flat screen TV. That's what she values in the house, right? If you live in a homeless shelter, you shouldn't have a flat screen TV in your room with cable TV. It's a fucking shelter, right? It's at the Holiday Inn. You're not there to get comfortable. You're there to get on your feet, save a couple bucks, and get your own apartment. She continues.
They do have cable, and they have a phone, and there is a beautiful play background area for the children that was at.
You guys saw the pictures today, right? The beautiful play background. That was like a freaking graveyard back there. Like, I go back there, the grass is 10 feet high. There's just that pool with that pond with no water in it. It's a mosquito freaking breeding ground, probably. Like, it's probably got malaria in it. It's got a freaking boat there that she made that has like freaking hoses coming out of it that used to spray water, right? And it's fucking terrible back there. It's like, it's a great place. Oh my god, what a liar!
Actually provided by Instar and by Lowe's. They provided our fencing. Yeah, they did a lot in the community.
Oh, that's fantastic. What kind of education do you offer these families?
Education.
So we have classes that are offered: cooking classes, budgeting classes. Many different classes.
And how long does somebody stay with you, roughly, on average?
So on average, the women come in with the intent of getting a job. Unless they're already employed, they have 30 days in which to find a job.
Okay.
And then from there, they go into our 90-day program, and then they can stay up to 2 years.
Okay. So these are people with serious problems, not just freeloaders. You know, you're pushing them to get a job. You're helping them move forward with their lives.
That's correct, and we do drug test.
Okay, that's fantastic. So you will house somebody for up to 2 years, but they still have to be contributing.
That's correct.
Do they contribute back to the house?
They do.
Bristol said that, right? Bristol actually asked her when she wanted to move in there, how much is it going to cost? And what do I have to do? She's like, you got to get drug tested. You got to pay for yourself. $40.
Ask a 10% donation when they come to the center when
donation.
they first get a job, and they are expected to make goals along the way. They need to be saving money. They need to be moving forward.
How can they save money?
Getting an apartment and to being able to live on their own.
How are you funded?
Well, the GRC has been privately funded, and we don't receive any government assistance.
That's true.
So without the donations of the amazing people in the community, like Dr. Lauren Scotchberg of Ohio, and Howard and Karen Gotchberg of Minnesota.
Minnesota.
We also have unbelievable support from Terenzio Volpicelli, Rob Jackson, and the entire Montgomery Masonic Lodge.
She's played
along
them
with
like
the
a fiddle,
Milford
by the
Commandery.
way.
We've also received amazing donations from Lowe's, TJ Maxx, and their beautiful new store on Medway Road. There has been donations from Barnes & Ann McNevin, Leah Curtis, Rebecca Grondin, among many other precious people in the community.
So anyway, you guys get the point there. On and on and on. I mean, what a lifestyle this woman's leading. What a great place she's leading. So anyway, let's look at some of the pictures. If the Fupa computer doesn't kill me here. Let's look at some of the pictures of it. You guys saw there's 3 bedrooms in that house. Okay? When you walk in the front door or the back door? When you walk in the back door, right, then you come into there's that one living room area. And on the right is the big bedroom, right? That's got like, I think 8 beds in there. And then the double bunk cribs. What do you guys think of those? The double bunk cribs. That was crazy, right? How do you get the baby up there? There's no ladder. And what happens if the baby starts standing up and jumping, right? Or God forbid falls out, which happens sometimes. Your baby just dies. I don't know how that's legal. And I'll tell you one thing. Shame on the Milford Fire Department, guys. Shame on them. I hope they're reading this and hope they're thoroughly embarrassed. I spoke with a bunch of firefighters by the Amherst Fire Department, and rightfully so, many times if we were not up to code. They checked us out all the time, right? And there was always that threat that we might get shut down, so we had to always be able to pass inspection and get our shit together, etc. Well, this woman, I couldn't even have like my bed blocking a window. There's a lot of regulations. In Milford, it's like, fuck it. Like, that's the policy in Milford is fuck it. Fuck it. It's Hadassah's house, fuck it. Whatever. They're fucking homeless chicks anyway. Who gives a fuck? At least they're not out panhandling and shit, right? At least they have somewhere to fucking sit all day. That's literally the plan. And so, at the Gan Rivka Center, I'll show you some of the pictures here. Let's see if they ever load here. So there's the inside of the house. As you can see, the kitchen, everything's like boarded up for some reason. And I'm like, why are those boarded up? And she's like, because they might break them. It's like, I bet you there's some shit in there that she doesn't want me to see, right? I bet you something's going on there, or she doesn't want them to have. So this is Fatima, the chick who's been living.
One chore. Tell them what your one chore is.
Cleaning the kitty litter. The kitty litter?
One chore. Mm-hmm. That's her only chore.
Oh, totally. I don't.
Everybody has.
Comes over, hugs, just hugs her. Fuck it.
Everybody has one chore. Look, Ethan.
This is like showing me names.
Oh, there is an Ethan.
That's why I said that.
Okay, get it.
Everybody has one chore. Mm-hmm. That's it, one chore. Okay. And they take turns.
No, it's more than fair. I think that's more than fair, don't you?
Everyone's going to take turns washing the floor.
It's the least you can do, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Try to keep it like...
I was staying in a place...
You guys go out and work at the yard sale? No, we offered to help.
Yeah, you make us go outside and work at the yard sale? No, we offered to help. So this Fatima, who's been living there for 5 years, by the way. Perfectly normal. Perfectly normal. What else do we have in this chick? So I'm going to show you that video in 1 minute of her blow up with me. Actually, let's watch it now, because this is pretty wild. You guys watch this video? This was great. Let me play this video. This is her kicking me out of the stores.
With all these people that have been tormenting my life and harassing me for all these months.
And what accusations?
So many accusations. I sat down and tried to show you my books.
I'm trying to look at your books.
You asked me a question, and you wouldn't let me answer the question.
You kept putting your hands over the books.
So that you would let me answer the question. And I didn't take it away from you until you started getting mad at me. Because
I'm not mad at you at all. I'm just asking questions.
Aiden, if you really were asking questions, when I go to answer the questions, you wouldn't interrupt me to speak again. You ask a question, but you won't let somebody answer the question?
You didn't. I asked the questions that I asked.
Answer.
To what question?
Exactly. You said,
why?
You're right. And every time right now even, I'm trying to talk and you won't let me finish the sentence.
Okay.
Like, this is all she does is just victimize herself. I'm like asking, so why is there a $40 bill from the liquor store? Like all these trips to the liquor store. I'm like, with company money. And she's like, how come you're not asking about this? How come you're not asking about this? Why are you nitpicking? It's like, I'm here to nitpick. You invited me here to go through your books. The fuck do you think that means? That's like, when you go through someone's books, you're nitpicking. That's what I'm here to do.
I mean,
on their side against me, you don't think that by rapid fire talking to
I'm not against anyone.
I feel like I'm...
I asked them the same questions. I asked them rapid fire questions.
Interrogated. You won't let me answer the questions.
Every question I asked them, they answered me. Okay? Every question I asked them, they just answered me. They didn't yell at me.
You won't let me answer.
I have to answer.
You asked...
That's fine. We're not making any progress here. This isn't working.
Do you realize that every time I try to speak to you, you're talking?
Okay.
You still are talking.
Okay.
Like
so we're not going to see the shelter, right?
If you can stop talking while I'm trying, then when I get frustrated and I raise my voice, then you say, you're raising your voice at me. If you let me speak without you interrupting me,
this is gaslighting. Thank you very much.
We're not making any progress. I did not interrupt you. I just wanted to know what the Verizon bill was.
Can I say it? Can I answer?
And you told me what it was.
What did I say?
You said it was for internet in the house or cable in the house.
That's not what I said.
That is.
Yes.
Okay, what was it for then?
Listen, then you said, why is this the first time I'm seeing you?
Yes, that's correct.
And did you let me answer you?
No, you did not.
Because you wouldn't stop talking.
Not my fault, right.
So why was that?
Again, because I was paying all the bills out of our private account.
Okay.
I had just started this account for the first time at that time, it would have been 7 years.
7 years? Okay.
7 years I ran the shelter out of my own pocket, not asking any money from anybody.
There was a big bill there from Verizon.
Find one person that gave a donation.
Okay, that's fine. That's all I asked. So,
you know what? I'm surprised that you haven't gone, light bulb moment.
Light bulb.
7 years, this woman paid for this shelter
on
her own. I got no help from the government,
How did she
no help from the state, no help from the citizens, not one person.
You don't have a job.
I took care of that shelter myself for 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
So now, these women come in, and you're looking at my books.
Yep.
I've not gotten any donations still. This is still not to the part where I started getting any actual financial donations.
I have a picture of
People
you getting
bring
a check
stuff,
from
but no
$10,000
financial
to
donations.
TBS.
Not yet. I was
you've gotten
trying to
a
go
check
to the
before.
part where we were
This is
getting
all a lie.
donations.
Everything she's saying is a lie.
You didn't want to see
Everything.
that. This is all money that I put in. Money that I made for my hard work.
Yeah.
Nobody gave me money. We said, well, people are going to want to know that their donations didn't go to pay for that person's Clive costs. Well, those ain't making money, so it's nobody's fucking business. I'm allowed to give what I gave. What I gave helped people. Did you know that we got a van donated to us? To me.
Yeah.
A woman donated a van to me.
And
Do you know where
by
that
the way,
went?
that in the email. You sent that in the email.
The person
you gave to her.
since posting this video, I found out that the person that she donated the van to is dead and can no longer dispute this. However, her friends dispute her story very much.
That's right. Do you want their names?
Is a lie.
Question them?
Everything.
Sure. Their name is, what is Tim's last name?
Tim.
Tim.
So it was a women's shelter.
Were they residents?
Of course they were residents.
Of course they were residents.
I'm just asking because
they were residents. They stayed.
Tim, a child, or
he's an adult man. Why would he?
Oh, because your website says no males over 18.
At that time,
every time, guys, every time is a fucking excuse.
So that
time there was men.
How many shelters?
What are you talking?
I run 0 shelters.
How many shelters?
Have you
that was
any idea of how to run a shelter?
How many shelters?
Can't say it.
Neither did I.
But I guarantee I could do better than you.
I didn't plan to run the shelter. I didn't start this shelter because I wanted to start it. I was renting out the bottom part.
I thought you never rented it out.
Why don't we just talk another time?
Do you want to see the shelter?
I would like to see the shelter.
You got to see the point. Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Just FYI.
Did not accuse
you when she gets sick at the end.
And Nate.
Yeah.
Nate.
Just so you know.
Why always Nate?
You know what? My sugar level's really low. That's why I'm not feeling
well.
My sugar level's low.
I will let you follow us over.
Okay.
When you say to me that you will not speak to the...
I don't need to speak to the residents at all.
I don't mind if you talk to them, but you're going to talk to them calmly.
I don't need to speak to them. Okay. I'm not here to speak to the residents. I just want to see what the house looks like. That's all.
Yeah, so, good Lord, this lady. I mean, I could literally pick out 5,000 lies in that. Every day I learn more and more is a lie. Everything this woman says. She's a pathological liar, right? And here's the fridge. It says no meat on it because she doesn't let them eat meat now because she's a vegetarian. Right? But why can't they eat meat? Well, they all have fridges in their room for some reason. They can put food in there, she says. Why can't they put it in there? Why don't... She's like, well, that's where I put my food. Why don't you put your food in the fridge in your house? I don't have a fridge, she says. Guess who told me that's a lie? Her son. That's a lie. Okay? She does have a fridge in her house. Of course she has a fridge in her house. Like, picture that. Every day you want to go get food, you have to... Like, you get up in the middle of the night, you want to drink a water, go to get the bread out of the fridge. Oh, I got to put my freaking shoes on and go to the house next door. Are you kidding me? So she says 32 people are staying there. I did not see 32 beds there. I might have seen 32 animals. And it's literally like, I think 8 beds in here, plus there's the bunk cribs. How is that up to code, guys? How is that up to code? All this shit about like tutoring and classes that they offer allegedly upstairs, except you can't go upstairs because that's where the kids live, rent free. And how about the son? What is up with the son? Why does he talk so much, guys? He's like, I mean, thank you, David or Russell, whoever you are. Thank you for literally diming out this whole operation. I don't know why you did that, but you did, so I thank you for that. I mean, there's the friggin' playground graveyard in the backyard. He literally told us everything about this woman that was lying. He admitted to banging. I don't know how ethical or unethical that is, but he had sex with the resident. The resident allegedly was asked to leave or had left already. I'm not sure, but we know that she blamed it. Hadassah blamed the woman for seducing him. Here's the picture of shit in the backyard. Of course, it's just a broken down truck, a door, a donated mini fridge. These are all donated. A space heater, probably donated. Toys, etc. Look at this shit. I mean, good Lord. She's just always keeping an eye on you, too. Was she always wondering what you're up to? There's her kids doing their thing. Living the life. So anyway, yeah, this guy told me everything. So, and he gets his car payments paid for by it. I saw it. I saw literally car payments in the notes, and we'll get into this in a later segment of this blog. But he pays for it. All right, his car was paid for by the GRC essentially, and the GRC gets the money. That's what 3 and 4 are going to be about. This is going to be at least a 6-part series now, because the money is too hard to explain in one blog. It has to be because there's 3 main places that the money comes from, guys. Okay, according to her. Residents who pay rent essentially to live there, because this is a boarding house, not a shelter. You have, number 2, money from profits from the businesses. And number 3, private donations. Those are the 3 areas that allegedly keep this running. Except, here's the problem. 2 doesn't exist, right? There's no profits from the business, which means everything comes from residents and donations. The business loses money. The business is subsidized by the house. So all these people who have donated to the house and all these people who are paying rent to be there, part of their money now goes to pay off the rent for the business. Because obviously the business doesn't make any money. The business is an expensive hobby. That's what it is. It's not a business. Businesses make money. This costs money. And I saw that they have the same bank account. It's all the same shit. She doesn't... And so this is how she ultimately got caught, because all these people started offering help, and they're like, yeah, let's look through your books. And they're looking through and like, this is all together? What the hell's going on here? And they started asking the same questions I did, except they were doing it in a way that was like, oh, we can fix this. It's not a big deal. Just don't do this again. We got to get this right. We'll fix it. And she's like, no, you're bullying me. Stop attacking me. I want your help. I just don't want you to, I want to handle all the money though. Like, that's ultimately what this comes down to, is she wants the help of people. She just doesn't want too much help. Just, she sees people as useful idiots who can raise money for her, and then she will spend that money how she deems fit. The fact that she allows her grown kids to not work and just live there is insane. Her son, Russell or Dave or whatever, he's banned from the bar in town called, ironically, the Turtle Tavern. And I think she is too. There was an incident there one night. We get into that in a later chapter. I'm telling you, it never ends, guys. It never ends. This is one of the wildest stories we've ever published. Okay? So I hope you're liking it so far. But good God, the amount of research that's gone into this, the amount of people I've had to interview, down there, going down there, it's been wild. And I wouldn't like it any other way. I wouldn't want it any other way. So anyway, people are saying, yeah, you gotta stop interrupting her. Oh, they're all loading up all these questions. Anyway, let me talk about for a minute Clive McFarlane. I gotta take a minute to dance on his grave. It's so great to watch it happen. You hate to see it, but you love to see it. So Clive McFarlane is one of my oldest rivals. He's this loser who writes for the Turtlegram and Gazette, and he was fired. So he had written this expose on me. Before he had done that, he had written two articles about me prior to Turtle Boy. Positive articles about me, right? I'm like one of those, I'm a good guy in the community, except I'm like Hadassah, except I'm not ripping people off, right? I had raised money to run the Boston Marathon to get some uniforms for the kids of the Doherty track team who I coached, right? And that made the paper. He wrote a little column about it. There was another one in which I did a fundraiser when I was teaching at Shepherd Hill for my mother. Knew this guy who had immigrated here from Kenya, and him and his 2 kids, he had only been here for like a year or 2, and he got cancer. And so we did a little fundraiser for the family. And, I'm like, how can we help? And we did it at Shepherd Hill. We had a student-faculty basketball game. We raised money for them. And so Clive loves shit like that. Like, you're helping an immigrant family out. He loves shit like that because he's a leftist, which is great. I think everyone, the right should like that too. So anyway, he liked me until Turtle Boy came along. And then he decided, when he found out, when the Buffalo shit happened in September or October of 2014, I got a call from Clive, and he's like, he wants to write a story about it, because he'd been following Turtle Boy, and he's like, that's you? And I'm like, Clive, it's a long story. Let me call you back when this is all done. And so it was really only a juicy story because I was a teacher at the time. And then I wasn't a teacher 5 months later, right? So it's really not newsworthy. But Clive decides to write about it instead. Now, the first 2 articles that were positive about me, they're gone. The Telegram and Gazette took them down. How fucked up is that? They literally took them down. So Clive writes this hit piece on me, unmasking me as this force of evil and vile, and he's really upset that all these nurses and doctors and teachers in the community read it and share it. He's written stories shaming people who have shared Turtle Boy, right? How dare they? My old friend Michael Gaffney, right? He called him a slave master because he shared Turtle Boy. A slave master. You can't make this shit up. So anyway, he was one of my earliest rivals, guys, and I used to fucking hate this guy with a passion. He was so, but at the same time, he kind of helped me out because it was like, when the newspaper in town's writing about you constantly, like, that's good, right? Because you're like the bad boy. If Clive, nobody likes Clive. Normal people don't like Clive. So if he's writing negative things about you, you must be doing something right. And I gained a lot of followers that way. So I've outgrown him, though. That was back when we were a Worcester-centric blog. We've outgrown him. Fuck off, Clive. We got bigger, badder people to take down the Globe and other places now. So there's been all these cutoffs, but he kept his job. Then today he announces he's been unceremoniously laid off by Gatehouse Media. I fucking love Gatehouse Media. Gatehouse Media is the supervillain of journalism. They're literally, you ever notice that, like, the Brockton Enterprise, the Providence Journal, the Worcester Turtlegram and Gazette, the Patriot Ledger, right? They all have the exact same format because they are just a money-making machine. Now, it's not good for the newspapers because you don't get in, you're laying people off. You don't get a lot of local news coverage, shit like that. But let's be honest, the newspapers weren't doing a good job anyway, right? Clive is the fat. Cut him. So they cut his ass finally. And he's like, I didn't even get to say, have a farewell call him. Well, you know why that was, Clive. Because you were going to get in there and you're going to call everyone racist. Right? Then you're going to be like, Gatehouse Media is racist. It's going to be the same drivel. I can't help but respect the hustle from Gatehouse Media. Bitch, if you still have a subscription to the Telegram and Gazette at this point, what the hell's wrong with you? It took that? That's what it took? See, I love it because newspapers are dying. It's great. They should be dying. Because guess what, guys? Newspapers aren't producing a good enough product. If you're not producing the product, like, newspapers had their heydays in the early 1900s. There used to be 2 a day because they gave us news. They don't do that anymore. There's 1,000,001 ways to get news. Everyone with the Twitter account now is news. Like, social media platforms have become areas where we can all share news. So what the hell do we need a newspaper for? Nobody reads the newspaper. So you better be doing something interesting there. And if all you're doing is read that in the Huffington Post. I can read that in Mother Jones. I can read that on MSNBC. Why do I need the Turtlegram and Gazette for that? I don't need you anymore. People need local newspapers for good local news, right? Shit that you can't get anywhere else. And guess who's doing that now? Me. That's what Turtle Boy has filled that void. This Milford story, the Milford Daily News was freaking licking her box for months, right? Not doing any investigating whatsoever. We come in there in a matter of weeks and we figured it all out. We figured most of it out. Right? That's a story. This Milford shit, that's a fucking story people like. That's a story people want to read about. That's going on in their community. It's shady. There's a lot of levels to this. People allowing this. What's going on here? People donating. That's what people want. Clive wasn't doing that. So guess what, Clive? You're out of here. Get him out of here. You're gone. So I just want to dance on Clive's grave. He can come and work for me. We're not going to pay him, right? But he can be an intern, right? I need my coffee made every morning. Maybe he can go pick up my prescription at CVS for the injury here, because I'm injured. It's really dangerous. Maybe I could use a bodyguard to protect me from carpal tunnel syndrome, other various blogger-related injuries. Who knows what's going to happen next? Who knows? So anyway, that's that. So I just wanted to dance on Clive's grave a little there. There's so much more I could talk. I could talk about Hadassah all night. Why don't I wrap it up here with a couple questions? Ask her what her maximum occupancy is. She says it's 32. 32, which is, imagine 32 people in that place. They'd all die if there was a fire. They'd all die. Ooh, maybe you can dictate and he can type for you. I like the way you're thinking. But, Clive's one of those guys that he could never work for someone like me. And by like me, I mean, I'm a white guy. Like, Clive is one of those guys who, he's literally racist. Like, literally. He does not like white people. He's very distrustful of them. And you saw that a lot in his writing. He didn't like the superintendent. He liked her as a principal when she was the principal of his kid's high school. But he didn't like her when she became superintendent. Why? Because she's a white woman who replaced a black woman. That's all it came down to. And he doesn't like the cops because he's been arrested by one. And he's black and the cops were white that arrested him. No murder suspect today. No response from him. Yeah, did they arrest him? I didn't follow that. Anything else happen with that? That shithead get arrested yet? That's a wild story out of Pennsylvania, huh? Yeah. Call Jack Turner. Should we call him? All right, let's call Jack Turner. He's not going to answer, is he? All right. Oh, no, don't do that. Let's call it, what is it? What does it go by on Twitter, on Facebook? Jack Elijah or something? Let's just call him. Let's see. Jack Elijah, right? This is a story from today that was written. It was about some kid who murdered his 21-year-old. He murdered his stepmother and 10-year-old stepbrother. And he's on the run, and he's like going on Facebook Live and shit. Pretty wild story. Oh, he posted again 28 minutes ago. 397 unread messages of unknown people claiming they love me, but y'all want to switch it up when it's public. Just remember, I remember everything. Y'all don't think I know about the reward. Fuck out of here on that love-dovey shit. I've been through it all. I seen all more than once. I'm deleting my account. Stay tuned. Got a screenshot of that bitch. Ooh, there we go. So, yeah, look at this guy. Oh, man, he's deleting his account. How the hell is he still free? How the hell is he free? He's going live. He's driving a car, right? They know what car it is. What the hell's wrong with the police in Pennsylvania? Good Lord. He's still free out there. Anyway, do you think Clive will try to start his own blog? He could try. Blogging ain't easy, though. He's probably going to get a job at Fox. Yeah, Clive. He would fit right in at Fox, wouldn't he? Should I try calling him? Fuck it. Let's call him. Why did I not call him up? Can you even message? Okay. He says he has 397 unread messages. So I'm just going in the pile. I like how he's like, nobody, y'all ain't mad at me. Y'all ain't gonna be like, oh, shut the fuck up, dude. You fucking killed your stepmother. What the hell's wrong with you? Imagine the answers. We get a murderer on our show. That'd be so badass. I'll tell you one thing, guys. Have you kicked your pain pills? Yeah. It was only a few days supply. They're done. Who does Clive's hair? That's a good question. He's married, so maybe his wife. Pennsylvania State Police or Milford Fire Department? Who's worse at the job? I'll say Milford Fire Department because, Pennsylvania is a big state. There's a lot of ground to cover, right? Milford, it's like we told you the fucking address, right? We went there. You saw what we saw, and you're like, this is good. This is acceptable. Yeah, so... is there anyone else you talked to that the shelter actually helped? That's a good question. Fatima seems to have a good time there, right? No, I have not talked to a single person who has had anything positive to say about the shelter who was actually there. Nobody. So, I don't know. Maybe people have, and I don't doubt if people have been. Like I said, she's doing a public service in that she's taking homeless people off the streets, which is good for everyone, which is why the town of Milford doesn't give a shit, I think. Right? But this doesn't make it okay. Doesn't make all the other shit okay. Alright, yeah, I'm not calling Clive. Fuck Clive. He ain't gonna answer anyway. Yeah, he must have ditched the car right now. He's got to be on foot, right? Got to be on foot. But can't they ping your phone? I feel like you should find them in 5 seconds. Especially if you're using a phone. That's the most remarkable part about it. If you're like on the run, and I think, I've wondered that. Like, if you were on the run, how long could you survive right out there on your own? I feel like I could make it a bit. I feel like I could. It would be too buggy though. I'm not gonna lie. I go out in Rutland, and I'm like, I ride my bike on this rail trail out there, and I get back in the car. It takes like a minute to put the bike in the car, and while it's happening, there's fucking bugs all over me. Bugs everywhere. That'd be my big thing. Fucking bugs. I don't know how people deal with it. Anyway. Can we get a This Day in History blog? Yeah, we haven't done one of those in a while. Those did not sell. Those got like terrible page views, so I just stopped doing it. Should I call Hadassah? Let's call her up, shall we? I'm going to call Hadassah right now. Give me one moment, please. See if she'll come on. All right, let's call her. FaceTiming. Not available for FaceTime. Okay. Try calling. All right, here we go. Ringing. Yeah, so she's not answering. So anyway, yeah, honestly, I really hope other media outlets pick this up. I shit on the mainstream media a lot, but the fact of the matter is they still matter in that, like, if they're not writing about you, no one's going to talk about it. Like, half the population won't take it seriously because you're just a blog. That's just the reality of the world that we're living in. If a gatehouse media-owned newspaper decides to pick up on the story, then all of a sudden it's fucking new. Then other newspapers, bigger newspapers will not cite you, but they will cite smaller newspapers. That's why it's important that these places write about you. So maybe we should start contact. Oh, I got someone we can contact right now. And this is what I want to do. Maybe tomorrow I'll do an impromptu live. Because we need to put the onus on these people. We need to get them on record to find what the hell is going on here. So I am going to call right now every person, where is it right here, on the Milford Board of Selectmen right now. Should we do it? Let's do it. I assume these are office phone numbers anyway. So I'm just going to leave messages. So you guys can see it's on record here. Okay. We're going to start with the town administrator, Dick Villani, Esquire. Oh, he's a lawyer. This should be fun. Okay, let's call it Dick.
Hi, you have reached the Selectman's office. We're either on the phone or with a customer. Please leave your name and number, and we'll return your call as possible. Thank you. You may start your message now.
Yes, hello. This is Clarence Woods Emerson from TB Daily News. I'm calling to ask for comment on the shelter. It appears to be a gypsy-run shelter at 16 Cedar Street in Milford that is not following any zoning laws or regulations. It seems to be a major fire hazard and a real big problem. We've done a few stories about it. I want to get comment from you about this shelter. So if you could call me back, my phone number should have come up. So if you could please call me back. This is Clarence Woods Emerson from TB Daily News. So if you could give me a call back, that'd be great. Thanks. Bye. Okay, let's call the next one. Who's up next? We're calling William Kincaid. That's kinky. This is the guy. We've written about him before. He's the drunk that hit the tree, right? And got away with it somehow. It's bad if you're a Board of Selectmen guy and we've already written about you. That's not a good thing.
We can't come to the phone right now. Please leave a message and we'll call you back as soon as we can. Thank you.
Hello, Selectman Kincaid. My name is Clarence Woods Emerson. I am a reporter from TB Daily News. I'm calling to ask for comment on a recent story we've been working on about the Gan Rivka Center located on 16 Cedar Street in Milford. It is our belief, based on investigations that we've done there, that there are a lot of glaring issues, particularly when it comes to health and fire regulations. It seems rather unsafe there, rather dirty. There seems to be vermin, a lot of animals living in the house. We're worried might not be up to code. It appears as if the Board of Health is aware of this and is doing nothing, as is the fire department. And as an elected leader in town, we'd like to know what you'd like to do with it. We have alerted State Senator Ryan Fatman and State Representative Brian Murray about this. So if you're not going to deal with this, we can speak to them directly. But it is, we would like to know basically why the town is allowing this place to continue to flagrantly violate your laws. So if you give me a call back, that'd be great. Thanks. Bye. Okay. I know no one's answering, but I want to leave a message. So I left too. That's good enough. That's good enough for now. All right. Any more questions, guys, before we call it a night? It's been a long one. That's what she said. All right. I made you know. I'm glad to help. I'm glad to help. Yeah, don't post a kayak for sale, Brittany. Everybody's already got my number anyway. I know. If they call back, I'm going live. I am going live. Who's Hamilton Coolidge? Is he being a smartass? I don't know what his deal is. Yeah, great turnout tonight. It's an awesome show. Do you rub on out with the wrong hand due to injury? There is no wrong hand for that, David. I'll tell you that much right now. There's no wrong hand for that. Did you try her vegan menu? Were there any customers at her stores? God, no. I can't imagine. Like, picture anybody who's waking up like, where do you want to go eat today? You know, we should go Karma Cafe. I heard they have a nice avocado enchilada down there. I might want to give it a shot. Blogging ain't easy t-shirts need to be made, and so does, like, I didn't choose the blog life chose me. Those need to be made in, like, you know, I need to get, like, Uncle Turtle Boy gangster kind of thing, like 2 Chainz, shit like that on there. Real gangster shit. Do you have to switch hit spanking the chicken? First of all, I thought everybody did. Nobody, is that a thing? Do people go one hand with that? I thought that was I don't know. I don't have a lot of discussions with other men about this, but I was under the impression that, you know, there was a common. You didn't have to learn to use your left. Everybody already knows how to use their left, right? Maybe I'm wrong. Anyway, any non-spanking questions you guys have? Is there an upcode kitchen in her cafe? Does she have a surf save certificate? I did not see any of that stuff. All right. No more spanking questions. Stop it. If you can't survive, you should just kill yourself. We should get that. Or just a kill yourself shirt. We should get a kill yourself. All right. Any other questions you guys have before we call it a night, guys? It's been a long one. Who's a spokesman for the Milford Fire? I don't know, but I'm calling him tomorrow. I'll tell you that much right now. I'm calling him tomorrow. Oh, you're running in the Falmouth race. Good luck. It's a 7-miler. That one's not easy. How about a spanking video? Yeah, I don't want to get shut down by YouTube, too. We're going to have a spanking tutorial. Good God. All right. All right, guys. All right, let's call it a night then. Yeah, I got to go rest my spanking elbow. Yeah, God. Oh, stop it. You. Stop it. Okay. Anyway, we'll see you guys all on... So this weekend, live is going to have to be on Friday night. So I might just do a live Friday night. Joel says, Juliana says hi. Who's Juliana who? Yeah, so we might do it on Friday night live because the missus is going away this weekend, which means I got the crotch fruits, and the younger one has been known to wake up and just start crying for no reason. So I got to be on him duty. Like, he could wake up at any moment, and he would not be fun to be on the show. He'd be fun to have on the show at like 6. You wouldn't want him having the show at 10. It wouldn't be fun. Like, this kid doesn't stop crying. Why is he crying? So anyway, we will see you guys all hopefully on Friday night for the next live. Maybe we'll go Thursday as well, but going to be a lot to talk about. All right? Peace, Total Riders. You were her coach for track. Oh, Juliana. She from Shepherd Hill. I know what you're talking about. Message me later. Peace, Total Riders.